Good morning. Today is 12/5 of 24. It's 2024. I am back with a video of what I eat in a day on my keto journey. I have another busy day of making cookies. I just didn't get them all made yesterday, partly because we ran out of ingredients and I had to go to the store. But so anyway, so I do have another busy day today. But I do plan to I want to make I have some chicken meatballs that I bought, a different brand that I want to try. And I want to make a roasted red pepper sauce to go with it. So hopefully I'm able to do that today. It is shortly after 10. I had my coffee. I actually just finished it. So probably like 9:45 is when I had my coffee. And then I'm also having a Body Armor Flash IV because I feel a little like I need some salt. I think maybe yesterday, even with my extra, I didn't quite get enough. So I'm gonna have that and I'm gonna get to work making some cookies. So I'll be back with what else I eat today. It is 12:30 and I'm ready to make my first meal. So I'm going to make chicken meatballs in red pepper sauce. So my meatballs are Amylu Chicken Meatballs, this is the roasted garlic with fontina, parmesan, and pecorino romano cheese. I think that's how you say that. Um, so they have 160 calories in four meatballs. It's 160 calories, 11 fat, 650 sodium, carbs of 1 with no fiber, and then protein of 15. Now, I will probably eat 6 meatballs, I'm guessing. So this should be a pretty good meal. On the cream sauce that I'm making, or the red pepper cream sauce, the original recipe calls for a quarter cup of heavy cream, but I don't want my fat to come from that heavy cream. I kind of want to have a dessert tonight. I want to make a lemon cheesecake in the microwave. So that's where I want to have my fat come from. And so I'm going to replace that quarter cup of heavy cream with a quarter cup of my Fairlife milk and a half teaspoon of my xanthan gum. So these are fully cooked meatballs. I'm just going to get them into a pot and turn my heat on. I'm just starting to warm them up is what I want to do. So I'm going to put my heat on maybe like a 3, and just kind of let those heat a bit while I am making the sauce. So I'm going to start with my uh, milk, which I need my measuring cup for. I need a quarter cup of my milk. And it's going to go into my little food processor here. And this makes 2 servings. I'm making, like I said, I'll probably eat 6 meatballs. So that means that there's 2 servings in this package. According to the package directions, it would be 3 because you would only eat 4 meatballs. Um, I don't know if I'll eat both servings, like have some left over and eat it later, because my husband is also going to maybe eat some. So here's my half teaspoon of xanthan gum, which is really just a thickener. You don't have to use this. It just helps to kind of thicken the sauce a bit, like the heavy cream would kind of make the sauce a little thicker. I need a clove of garlic. So I'm using this canned garlic that I got when we were in Colorado from this little like produce stand that was on the side of the road. So I just need 1 clove of garlic. I'm going to grab a spoon so I can kind of move these meatballs around a little too. They're going to get browned, which is fine. I don't mind. I just kind of want them to be warm everywhere, not just in one spot or get too browned. Okay, let's see. I need 1.5 tablespoons of butter. So I have my half tablespoon measuring spoon here. And I'll find one of my little rubber scrapers to help me get it out. If I was using a stick of butter, that'd be easier to measure. All right, so there's 1/2 a teaspoon. I'm sorry, 1/2 of a tablespoon. I need 1.5 tablespoons of butter. And 1 final half tablespoon. to get my 1.5 tablespoons. I'm gonna make sure I'm getting it all. Okay, and then I need some roasted red peppers. And it says that I need 2 ounces, and this is a 16-ounce container. So that means I need 1/8 of this container. So I'm just going to kind of guesstimate here to get about 1/8. I think that's probably good. Okay, and then get my lid on so I can, there we go. But first I'm going to stir my meatballs because I can see they're getting browned. Okay, I need to plug this in. And blend. Ooh, it looks delicious. Smells good too. All right. I'm going to get the sauce added. I'm going to actually turn the heat down a little bit when I add the sauce. And then I will just allow the sauce to like kind of melt down, right? Because that butter is still like a solid, right? But in tiny pieces. So let it get melted down and start to warm through. It's still too hot. I don't want it to like fry my sauce. I just want it to warm it. There we go. All right, I'll be back with a taste test. My meatballs are ready. I'm going to try them. I'm going to start by just trying the sauce. It's got a very unctuous flavor, probably because of the butter. And it's got a very nice red pepper flavor. Like that was a good amount of red pepper to put in there. I do feel like it's lacking a bit of salt, but I want to try the meatball first because I don't know how salty that is. Mm. Those meatballs have a lot of flavor to them. Um, they're a little rubbery, but not bad. Like I think I could see myself buying these again. And they really do have a lot of flavor and like I said, it's not a bad texture. So those are actually pretty good. I could totally see me having those. I'm gonna need to add some salt. The meatballs are they like you can taste salt in them, but the sauce just needs a bit. Like you should season every layer and that salt, or I'm sorry, that sauce does need some salt and I need more salt anyway. So I'll just sprinkle some on top and eat my first meal. After having eaten my meatballs with the sauce, the sauce was a little hard to get through. It was just so rich because of that butter. It was too much. I think next time I make it, I'm just going to cut the butter in half and see, if it kind of needs anything else, like thinned out or anything like that. I don't know if I would just not add the xanthan gum or if I would add some broth to it, but I'm going to start by just the next time that I make it, I'm going to use half the amount of butter. But it was good. I do also feel like it needed just a bit of ground black pepper, which you can just sprinkle on top, when you're serving yourself up. I meant to make this at the same time that I was making my meatballs, and I forgot. So I am going to mix myself together some cottage cheese. So I have made this mixture numerous times. I am using about a half cup of 2% cottage cheese. And I'm going to use, it's probably a teaspoon of everything bagel seasoning, and then a tablespoon of my protein powder just to kind of get a little more protein in. And I'll mix these up. Oh wait, but I also wanted to add more salt. I think I'm gonna add this salt. I kind of just want to make sure that I'm adding salt to everything so I don't have to drink as many body armors. So I'm going to add, if I can find here, all right, I'll just use this. I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So this is my 1/8 teaspoon measuring spoon. I'll just use it twice because I didn't see a 1/4 teaspoon just kind of sitting there. There we go. All right, and then I'll get this all mixed together. And this will kind of be like the sides of my meatballs, even though I've already eaten all of my meatballs. Hello again. It is 3 o'clock and I am going to make my dessert. Mostly because I actually have the time to make it now. So I'm going to make it and I'll eat it and then I'll just eat a meal later. So I am making a microwave lemon cheesecake. I have made this before. I'm going to make some adjustments based on my experience last time. However, I don't have a fresh lemon, so I'm just going to have to use lemon juice, which is a little disappointing, but I think it'll still taste good. Okay, so I've got a bowl here that I'm going to use, and I've got some cream cheese that has softened, and I need 2 ounces of this, maybe. It's always so hard to get open. There we go. Okay, and then I will just cut out the 2-ounce line right there. Get that in my bowl. And then I need 1 egg. So that'll go in there. Okay, so the original recipe called for almond flour, but I found it to be just a little grainy, which I know happens, and could still happen with the coconut flour. But I just thought I would give it a try with coconut flour and see if that kind of helps. So I've got 1 tablespoon of coconut flour. And then the other change I'm going to make is that it calls for a tablespoon of the sweetener of your choice. So I'm going to use allulose, or however you say it. But I found that it wasn't sweet enough. So I'm actually going to use 1.5 tablespoons of my sweetener, just because I do want it to be a little sweeter than it was. And I need a tablespoon of lemon juice. Oops. Okay, and then I mix this together and then it's supposed to go in the microwave. But I want to, because, like, I don't know, it felt a little dry the first time. I'm going to use a trick that I kind of learned by watching other recipes when you use like almond flour or coconut flour to kind of let it sit for like 10 minutes before you like bake it. And that will help the flour to kind of absorb more of the liquid and thus it won't be quite as dry. So that's what I'm going to do here as soon as I get this all kind of mixed together well. Okay, I'm having a hard time getting it mixed together well, and I realize it's because I'm using the wrong tool. I should be using something like a fork or a whisk, and since this is a small container, I'm going to use a fork to get everything kind of broken up and mixed together. Okay, now, like I said, I'm just going to let it sit for about 10 minutes. All right, so it's been 10 minutes, and it does seem like it is like a bit like broken down. Like it seems like when I mix it, it is more broken down. All right, so I'm gonna put this into my microwave for 90 seconds. All right, this is it after 90 seconds. I am not sure that that middle is, oh yeah, it is. Okay, so I'm gonna let this cool because I don't want to eat hot cheesecake. So I'm just gonna let this cool. I don't know for how long. I've got more cookies to make. So I'll make some more cookies and eventually I'll get around to eating it. Oh my goodness, I am so glad that I made this um, lemon cheesecake. I don't know what I was thinking. For the cookies that I need to make, I am making, and I can choose which ones I want to make. I am making lemon crisp cookies, which are one of my favorite cookies. I don't know why I did this to myself. So I'm really glad that I made this lemon cheesecake and I hope that it's delicious. So I'm just going to give it a try. It still has more of a texture of like flour, like I can taste the flour in it. I wonder if maybe the flour content needs to be toned down. Um, and I really don't taste very much sweet in it either. Like it really just kind of tastes like flour. I'm not impressed. I'm disappointed and now I have all these cookies here. I don't know what I'm gonna do. It is quarter after 6 and I'm pretty hungry. I'm going to have some of my leftover spaghetti with spaghetti squash, a half cup of spaghetti squash. Yesterday I had said I got it down to 13 net carbs by cutting down the spaghetti squash, but I realized today that it's actually 17 and a half net carbs with the half cup of spaghetti squash, which is still better than it was. I think it was 21 or 20, somewhere in the 20s. So it's better. I'm going to eat this and then I know I'll still be hungry because there's not a whole lot of calories in this, but I'm not really sure what I'm going to eat next. All right, so it's quarter to 7. I just had half of a pickle spear. So that is helping with my salt, really, is why I had it. And then to give myself something sweet, because I was really looking forward to that cheesecake, I am having a 000 Okios yogurt with blueberry. This is my favorite flavor of this. So I'm looking forward to having that. That'll also get me to my protein goal. And I should be good for the rest of the day. So let's take a look at how my day turned out. I ended up with a little less than 1,200 calories, which I usually try to get to 1,200, but I've had over 1,200 the last couple days, so it's not a problem. My protein is 126. My net carbs are 38. My fat is 48, and my sodium is 4,000. So all of those numbers are pretty good. I had a good day today. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow.